First of all praises to the Father Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Ruachadash. Shabbat Shalom to all the brothers and sisters in recognition to observe in this day for worshiping the Most High. Sundown this evening to sundown tomorrow evening, my people, let's get some rest, worship, and praises into the Father, because this is what we're to do through all our dwellings. It is a commandment that we are to take advantage of getting rest and worshiping the Most High on the Sabbath, okay? But what we're going to talk about today is basically foods that's basically sacrificed to idols, okay? The thing is this, just last week, me and Joan went out and bought some cookies that happen to be some of our favorite kind. These cookies right here. And they're called Steenstra Almond St. Claus cookies. Okay, now when we bought the cookies, didn't think anything about the St. Claus on that. You understand? But then when we got the cookies home and everything, and my wife, she opened them up. She had a few of them. And then she wound up seeing these cookies are actually sacrificed to idols. They are. You know what I mean? And here, this is what it is right here. This is what gave it all away. It's their slogan on the back of the nutrition box. It says here. It says, there are 5 different shapes of Steenstra St. Claus cookies. They are St. Claus on a horse. He makes presents for children, boy and girl. Love to receive presents. Rooster, because St. Claus, or Santa Claus, starts his day at sunup. Owl, because Santa Claus works till sundown. Windmill, because Santa Claus lives in a windmill. Steenstra's St. Claus cookies are enjoyed by everyone year-round. Okay? See, these cookies are actually sacrificed to idols because, as we know, those of us that are in the truth, Christmas, Santa Claus, and all the things that these cookies are talking about right here are idols. They are idols, and that's just what it is. And I was very, very disappointed because I was looking forward to getting a few of these cookies right here. They are very, very good cookies, you know. Now, I'm not saying all the brands, you know, that manufacture these cookies are actually, you know, sacrificed to idols, you know. But this particular brand right here is making it clear. See, this is how the devil tricks you. He's very crafty. Okay, and what he does, he's very, very crafty. Now, of course, we know in Leviticus. Well, first of all, let's start over here in Ecclesiastes. Well, Ecclesiastes 12:13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear Yahweh and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. This is our duty right here, is to fear the Most High and keep his commandments. That way, it will be well with us throughout all our dwellings. Well, of course, our people went off, and we're going to get into that. But when we go over here in Leviticus 10:10, and it reads here, and that ye may put difference between holy and unholy, and between unclean and clean. Okay? Meaning, this is the same thing that we're supposed to do. Put difference between clean food and unclean food. Clean meat versus unclean meat. And it's all in Leviticus about foods that are clean and we can partake of, and foods that are not clean that we are not supposed to partake of. Okay? But the devil, like I said, he's crafty. Just like he did with these cookies. Nobody would ever know or think, well, these cookies right here are sacrificed to idols, because a lot of people are oblivious to know that Christmas and the whole concept of Christmas is a idol. Okay? Now let's go over here in Deuteronomy 32:15. Now, and it says here, but Jeshurun waxed fat. Now, Jeshurun is actually Israel. And Israel is Jacob. This right here is our ancestors, Jeshurun. They waxed fat and kicked. Thou art waxen fat. Thou art grown thick. Thou art covered with fatness. Then he forsook Yahweh which made him, and lightly esteemed the rock of his salvation. Our people are like this to this day, waxed fat, grown fat. You understand what I'm saying? We are a shell of our former selves, okay? Well then, how did they wind up like this, okay? Now, let's read this right here. And we're going to start here in verse 12, Deuteronomy 32:15. And it reads, so the Lord alone did lead him, and there was no strange God with him. He made him ride on the high places of the earth, that he might eat the increase of the field. And he made him to suck honey out of the rock, and oil out of the flinty rock, butter of kine, and milk of sheep, with fat of lambs and rams, of the bread of Bashan and goats, with the fat of kidneys of wheat. And thou didst drink the blood of the grape. But Jeshurun, Israel, Jacob, waxed fat and kicked. Thou art waxen fat, thou art grown thick, thou art covered with fatness. Then he forsook Yahweh, which made him, and lightly esteemed the rock of his salvation. They provoked him to jealousy with strange gods and abominations. With abominations provoked they him to anger. They sacrificed unto devils, not to Yahweh, to gods whom they knew not, to new gods that came newly up from your fathers, whom your fathers feared not. Of the rock that begat thee thou art unmindful, and hast forgotten Yahweh that formed thee. See, so our people, they start worshiping small g gods, okay? And in worshiping these small g gods, these idols, they offered up food sacrifices and sacrificed foods to them, okay? And that's basically what it is, okay? And like I said, believe it or not, Christmas is a pagan holiday. It's a idol, you understand? And when you eat these cookies that represent what it stands for, these idols, you understand? Even the little Christmas cookies, same thing, all idols, okay? That's what it is. But this is how our people wound up in the condition that we are in to this day. Worshiping other gods, you understand, and sacrificing unto idols and eating the foods thereof. Let's go over here in Revelations 2:14. This is Yahushua speaking. But I have a few things against thee, because thou hast there them that hold the doctrine of Balaam, who taught Balak to cast a stumbling block before the children of Israel, to eat things sacrificed unto idols, and to commit fornication. You see that? Tricked. In other words, they cast a stumbling block for the children of Israel, our ancestors, to eat food sacrificed unto idols. So back to those cookies. Those cookies, just because of what they had on the back of the pack, the nutrition facts, and right under there, their slogans, and why they put those things there, it was all about sacrificing unto idols. And I wished we had a saw that before we got the cookies. You see, but nevertheless, this is what it is. Let's go over here in 1 Corinthians 10:28. But if any man say unto you, this is offered in sacrifice unto idols, eat not for his sake that showed it, and for conscience sake. For the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. Okay? You see? So we got to be careful. You understand? If somebody asks you, hey, eat some of this right here. This is good right here. You know what I mean? On this day, we worship whoever. You know what I mean? And you know it's not the Most High. Don't eat the food. That right there, because the food is actually sacrificed unto idols. That's what it boils down to. Now, Romans 14:20, and it reads, for meat destroyed not the work of Yahweh. All things indeed are pure, but it is evil for that man who eateth with offense. And guess what? When you eat foods that are sacrificed unto idols, well, you are eating with offense. You are offending the Most High when you do that. Now, we can eat them cookies after we found out that them cookies represented an idol. Santa Claus, his reindeer, cookies, and and all that other stuff. You know what I mean? That was on the back that we read there. We can't eat it. Hey, that's just what it is. Now, we're gonna go over here in Corinthians, 1 Corinthians 8:4, and it reads, as concerning therefore the eating of those things that are offered in sacrifice unto idols, we know that an idol is nothing in the world, and that there is none other than Yahweh but one. Okay? Yes, we do. We know this full well. But nevertheless, when we eat foods that are sacrificed unto idols, we are not putting a difference between the holy and the unholy, and the clean and the unclean. We're not doing that. And we are offending the Most High. And that's what it is. So, like I say, people out there in the book, you may want to take heed and be on guard and stand vigilant for what you are putting in your mouth. You understand? It's not me telling you this per se, but as a vessel of the Most High, I'm saying these things to you because you may be unaware. And that's ignorance. Ignorance don't mean stupid. Ignorance just means you're just fully unaware of something. That's all it means. But what makes you stupid is to know, in other words, be aware, and then still continue in your folly. That will make you stupid. Now, we're going to go over here in Revelation 2:20. The Mashiach is speaking again. Notwithstanding, I have a few things against thee, because thou sufferest that woman Jezebel, which calleth herself a prophetess, to teach and to seduce my servants to eat, to commit fornication, and to eat things sacrificed unto idols. Okay? See, Jezebel, this is what she was down with. You know, she did things like this. You understand? I mean, everything that the Most High said not to do, Jezebel did it. She dressed herself as a harlot. You understand? She usurped authority over men. She called herself a prophetess. All of these things. And, again, served, foods that were sacrificed unto idols, and tricked his servants into just not eating it. These are the things we have to stand vigilant with. I don't know how many of you guys are out there and you go to your church. You understand? I'm sure you know that your church, y'all had these dinners and all that kind of stuff. You see your pastor over there. You understand? Or you go out to eat, mostly Golden Corral. You understand? And you see your pastor pile his plate up with pork. You know what I'm saying? And you like pork, and you're doing the same thing. Or maybe you're not. Or you might see some nice succulent shrimp, fried shrimp over there. You understand? Again, these are all unclean foods. You understand? And when we eat these foods, you may not offend man, but you are offending the Most High. And that ain't cool. And it's not going to be well with you. That's what it all boils down to. Okay? Just because Pastor Porkchop, he do it, You shouldn't follow him into doing that. Because, see, he's supposed to be your spiritual guide to the Most High's word, to give you spiritual understanding. And he's not leading by proper example if he's over there doing things that the Most High's word says not to do. You see, that's just what it is. Now we're going to go over here in Exodus 34:15. And it reads, "Lest thou make a covenant with the inhabitants of the land, and they go a whoring after their gods, and do sacrifice unto their gods, and one call thee, and thou eat of his sacrifice." Okay? Same thing I just sit here and talked about with churches. This is what churches do. You understand? Some of them don't go out to Golden Corral, after church. They have the dinner down in the church basement. You understand? And the sisters the be back there, the old, sisters be back there, and they be preparing the food and put you in a line with your styrofoam plate and your plastic knives and forks and spoons and your little styrofoam cup. You understand? And the first thing, they'll pile your string beans full of ham hock meat and grease. You understand? With potatoes and all that kind of stuff. You see, this is what I'm saying. Unclean food. You understand? When you eat unclean food, you are sacrificing to idols and not the Most High. And you are basically defiling your spirit, your soul. Yes, anything that you take into your body and your vessel that's not clean by the Most High's word that you're permitted to eat. Yes, you are actually defiling not only your flesh, but you're defiling your spirit. And this is fact. This is facts, people. See, I don't want you to get it twisted to think, well, he's just trying to tell us how to eat and how to live. And I ain't trying to tell you nothing but what the Most High said. It's all right here. It's all right here. You understand? And I know a lot of your ministers out there, for the ones that, like I say, go to churches, they're not telling you these things. If you bring this up to them, what they're going to tell you is the scripture. I can't think of it right now. That everything is clean, you understand what I mean, or good, when received with thanksgiving. Yeah, it is, if it was basically pronounced good to eat in the first place. Because just like pork and shrimp and things of that nature, crab legs and stuff like that, only thing that is good for is what the Most High made it for, but it wasn't created as food for us to eat. It wasn't. You have to understand this. This is important. This is crucial. You understand now? Just like the Most High gives all of us free will and choice. You make your own decision. Who you gonna follow? You gonna follow the Most High, or you gonna follow self-will, yourself, and do as you please? I guarantee you, if you do that, well then, things ain't gonna be so well for you in the long run. Okay? Now we're gonna go over here in 1 Corinthians 8:7. And it says here, "Howbeit there is not in every man that knowledge. For some with conscience of the idol unto this hour eat it as a thing offered unto an idol, and their conscience being weak is defiled." You see, your conscience is defiled. Let's read this. 1 Corinthians 8:4 here. "As concerning therefore the eating of those things are offered in sacrifice unto idols. We know that an idol is nothing in the world, and that there is none other than Yahweh but one. For thou there be that are called gods, rather in heaven or in earth, as there be gods many, and lords many. But to us there is but one Yahweh, which is God, the God of gods." Okay? the Father of whom are all things, and we in him, and one Lord, Yahushua HaMashiach, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Okay? By whom are all things, and we by him. Howbeit, there is not in every man that knowledge, for some with conscience of the idol unto this hour eat it as a thing offered unto an idol, and their conscience, being weak, is defiled. But meat commendeth us not to God, not to Yahweh, for neither if we eat are we the better, neither if we eat not are we the worse. But take heed lest by any means this liberty of yours becomes a stumbling block to them that are weak. For if any man see thee, which has knowledge, sit at meat in the idol's temple, shall not the conscience of him which is weak be emboldened to eat those things which are offered to idols? Okay? Well, basically what this boils down to, if you can eat things that's offered to idols and you know it, then you don't have no conscience. Your conscience basically is weak, but your conscience will be strong if you resist it. You see, this is important, people. This is important. It's important what we take into our fleshly bodies. You see what I mean? Because this is what determines your spirit, your soul in the hereafter, and how you go in this earthly flesh. Okay? Because see, the majority of things that plagued our people, you know, with sicknesses like diabetes, high blood pressure, hypertension, all that kind of stuff, it all boils down to not putting a difference between clean and unclean and eating foods that sacrifice onto idols. That's what this all boils down to. That's what it's all been. Obesity is the same thing. This is what it all boils down to. Okay? Now, to bring this thing home in Acts 15:29, and it reads, that ye abstain from meats offered to idols, and from blood, and from things strangled, and from fornication, from which if ye keep yourselves, ye shall do well. Fare ye well. Meaning, if you just do what the Most High said not to do, you're going to do well. That's all that boils down to. You are going to do well, as it is with all his commandments that he set for his children. See? So, be mindful, people. Be vigilant about what it is that you're partaking of for food, because everything ain't meant for food. You understand? Now, them cookies would have been beautiful if they ain't said that about, well, Saint Claus, Santa Claus, and reindeers, and all that old kind of stuff. This is why we did it. See, the devil crafty, trying to get us to eat, you understand, food sacrificed unto idols. Those nice windmill cookies are sacrificed to idols, and we can't eat them. I hate it. I do. You know? I really, really do. I was going to drink me some tea with them babies, right? But guess what? Can't do it now. You know? So that's just what it is. That's all I got on this one, people. I hope you guys found this lesson edifying, and I hope I said something to stimulate your spiritual growth. All praises to the Father Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakadash. People, please remember to live your life as though we are being watched, simply because we are. This is James, and I'm out. Peace.